Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you all for coming. This is a very auspicious day. We are holding a initiation ceremony today. What does initiation mean? Let me ask you just quickly, does it mean the end? Is it a completion? Is an arrival state? What is, to initiate something means to what? Acha. So, and it also means to introduce into a new phase. So we are going to initiate, unless they change their minds, and I can still change my mind, 2 disciples into first initiation, and then 3 devotees into second initiation. One is called Harinam Diksha, and the other is called Gayatri Diksha. And we're going to try to do this whole thing, and in between 5 and 5, we have to reverse time for that, between 7 and 7:15. So let's see how all of that goes. And we also have a guest appearance by Bhakti Vikash Maharaj, very, very saintly and scholarly devotee. And he is the spiritual master of Amoga Lila Prabhu. So as he spoke at the disappearance of Bhakta Alex, he's going to speak again when Alex come Amoga Lila now gets his Gayatri. Namo Om. I'm also in the course of losing my voice, so wish me luck. It may be to your favor. Maybe it's answered prayers. I don't know, but we'll see how far we get. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Sahamanita Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesha Sunyavari Paskachada Sadharani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm sitting here and a little embarrassed because I'm going to become officially their Diksha Guru, at least for we have Mani Bandhani Prabhu is going to take Gayatri initiation from his spiritual master, Hanumat Prashak Swami, who saintly sadhu. We know he's in good shape. And then we've got Amogalila Prabhu, I've already said, is taking initiation from Bhakti Vikash Maharaj, getting his Gayatri mantra, second initiation. And then there's me. So what is I did not descend from the spiritual world. I did not have a burning bush speak to me. I did not, we could go down a long list of things. I wasn't touched and I saw the light. That's not what happened. I was born of a mundane family. I stumbled through life like so many other people. So what qualification do I have to sit here? Well, I have one confidence. I have confidence that I met a bona fide spiritual master. And a bona fide spiritual master means, just like we have a socket here, and we can have a, whatever it is, this here. And there may be several extension cords connecting it. You follow me? Although the power is generated there, it's active here, and it's carried via a number of cords. You know, if something's not working, first make sure it's on, okay. But you check them, is it plugged in, isn't it? All right, it's plugged in. We got that much covered. So the secret to spiritual life, one of the secrets, people are always looking for secrets. It's an open secret, is that one spiritual master has to be connected to a bona fide disciplic succession. Tadvidhi pranipatena paripushanina sevaya ubadikshanti te jnana jnanivas tattva darshanaha. Then it says evam parampara praptam, that in a bona fide line of disciplic succession, there's Krishna, the source of all knowledge. And then there's a chain of master to disciple, master to disciple, master to disciple. From time immemorial, we could spend time on that, but we don't have much time. So I do have that qualification, that if I can connect my disciples to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's not alone. When you say king, if the king shows up in a VW, he's driving in an old VW Bug by himself, well, you're not so impressed, you know. King means he's got his entourage, he's got his kingdom, he's got so many things, ancillary items, or support items. So, along with Prabhupada, he has his books, which are translations and commentaries on the Vedic literature, going all the way back to Veda Vyasa and Krishna himself. And he's got his institution, he's got the Hare Krishna movement, the family of devotees. So there's a whole support system that goes with initiation. It is not that my guru is taking me back to Godhead and everyone else is chopped cabbage. That is not what's happening at all. But the spiritual master, and we'll get into that in a second, in addition to planting the Bija mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra within the heart, the spiritual master connects one. In or out, my friend, in or out. I think Ishtadev needs a chair, and there's a chair right there. Maybe he needs help? Yeah, give that. Okay. So the spiritual master has the duty to connect one. My job is to connect them to Srila Prabhupada and help them, guide them in Srila Prabhupada's instructions, to keep them within in the family of Srila Prabhupada's movement. And if they do that, if there's stormy seas, anyone ever been on a boat in a storm? Anyone ever get seasick? It's no fun, is it? It's, you know, the furniture sliding back and forth, you know, so many things, you know. So is it a solution to jump off the boat into the ocean? Will that do you any good? In the old days, the sailors, they would lash themselves to the mast. You know, because if all else fails, that's going to stay afloat. So many things will happen in life. No question about it. Anyone who's lived long enough can tell you. There was a professor who used to come to our temple in Michigan. And he had a bunch of Arkansas sayings. He was from the Ozarks. And I remember one devotee saying, you know, if it's not one thing, it's another. He was about 65 years old. So when the devotee said, if it's not one thing, it's another, he said, no, son, It'll be both. So, in other words, and then another time somebody said, I did this, and if I had only done that, I went down this path and it blew up in my face. If I'd only done this, it all would have worked out. Dr. Northcraft was his name, just came to me. He said, son, there's more than one way to be wrong. Because we think if we went this way, it all would have worked out. But no, there's a million ways things can go wrong. And they will go wrong. The material world is compared to a forest fire. And a forest fire, no one sets it. Well, sometimes they do set it in the crazy age we're living in. Often they're firemen looking for overtime. It's true. So, it's a nice garland. So that is the nature of this place. Yeah, there's so many things to say. So my duty and my only qualification is if I can connect them, set a good example to the best of my ability, and connect them to Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. And Prabhupada connects them to his spiritual master. His spiritual master connects them to his spiritual master. And in this way they transferred, current goes up, and all the devotion and offerings by this chain of disciplic succession go all the way up to Krishna. And in the same way, Krishna's mercy flows all the way back down to the living entity. So it is a very mystical and powerful and profound process. And really, all we have to do is stay on board the boat. Even though the storms and difficulties which will come, just stay on board, and we will sail across the ocean of birth and death to the lotus feet of Krishna. So because of the time, which is already half gone, let us go into the 10 offenses. Now, do they sit? Where's Dravida? Oh, I'm without guidance. I think they should sit around the fire, isn't it? Yeah. Too late now, my friends. You got witnesses. And Mataji, we're going to need you to eat. Yeah, let's put and don't sit with your backs to the deity, so sit like a U. Let's put the Brahmins on this side. Brahmins. Step up. You can sit on a cushion, it's all right. Otherwise you'll get uncomfortable. Okay, now we've got Govardhan. You can sit here. Where's Mani? Well, Mani, we want you right here. Because we've done. No, Scott, you stay there. Let's have Brahmins on this side and Nishits on that side. There we go. That way I can keep an eye on you. But don't sit with your back to the deities. No, you angle yourself. Well, you're in a tough spot, aren't you? All right, you sit over there next to Jeff. We'll move you. All right, now it is obligatory to, don't be a distraction, whatever you do. It's obligatory. There are 10 offenses in chanting the holy name. Because first initiation, it is the I'm trying to think how to limit it. It's called the planting of the Bhakti Lata Bij. Bija means seed. It's the sprout of devotional service. And just like, if you want to get into a fancy club, it's who you know. So, yes, we can chant the holy name, and you get mercy from Krishna, and you make spiritual advancement, no doubt about it. The holy name is a papavidyam. It's pure and antiseptic. It's like the sun. It cannot be contaminated and purifies everything it touches. But the seed of bhakti and the holy name are infused when one comes in contact with the chain of disciplic succession via the Diksha Guru. So and when you plant a seed, done. What do you need to do when you plant a seed? Yeah, man, it's the first thing you got to do is you got to water it. You have to have a good soil. You have to favorable environment, so many things. But if you don't water it, it's not going anywhere. And the primary watering process for the seed of devotional service to grow is the chanting of the holy name. Everything rests on chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So, therefore, it is obligatory that we speak on the 10 offenses, because that's the medium that you're going to succeed. Do you guys want to succeed? I would think so. And it's not guaranteed. You got to make an effort. We do not become Krishna conscious by osmosis. But just think about it for a moment. We're going to go a little over time, I'm sorry. But we're not too long. What does it cost? Oh, let's say Harvard. What does it cost? If you don't have a scholarship or loan, what is anyone know? Harvard, Stanford? What's UCLA? 1 year at UCLA. Yeah, man. He knows. He's trying to work at it. $30,000, $40,000 a year. Now, wouldn't it be a lot easier? We always set up our Krishna consciousness, spiritual knowledge is Raja Vidya. It's the real education that removes darkness. So they're out there all lined up to take math calculus or pre-med or whatever. They're going to struggle through. And we're there with a nice book table. How to become Krishna conscious, the king of education. But they're all lined up there. It's orientation. Is that what they call it? Something like that. Wouldn't it be a lot easier? You want to learn civil engineering. You got a guy there behind the table. You just, and you got it. All that trouble with pre-med and then, it's a hassle becoming a residency and so many. Why not just Do you find just by electrical current, zap, you've got it? You want to get them, you want to learn to play the cello or whatever? Zzz. Just doesn't work. No respectable, serious, substantial education system works because, a bird in a bush told me, or I got a zap from some guy, or I got kicked in the head by a mule and realized I was God. No. And yet, somehow, that we just disconnect from all logic. And to obtain the most valuable thing, that which is most difficult to achieve, the deepest, profoundest knowledge and process that gives us the highest destination, freedom from birth and death, and introduces us and places us at the lotus feet of our supreme lovable object, Krishna. And you get that from a zap? So it is a serious process. And it is a process. And it works. Just got to follow it. My son used to put together model airplanes, model cars, models, whatever it is. And he was passionate. I wonder where he gets it. And, he'd put the thing together. Look at the picture, put it together. And as they got more developed, we got ones that had motors and stuff like that. And he'd click it on and it wouldn't work. It had batteries. I said, did you read the directions? That takes too long. Well, guess what? There's tab A to tab B. Did miss that part, So if you follow the process, it's been honed by saints and sadhus and self-realized souls since time immemorial. The mind is, anything but follow. What? Subordinate my intelligence? That's not what we're saying. Crush my individuality? That's not what we're saying at all. But to intelligently follow the process honed by the great sages when there's so many ways to go wrong sounds pretty reasonable to me. So one of those processes is how to chant the holy name properly. The first offense in the chanting of the holy name is to blaspheme. It's almost a medieval word, but to criticize, to find fault, to to quibble, to quarrel, to so many different things, wrangle. And it mostly means to find fault in those devotees who've dedicated their life to Krishna. Now I'm saying, as an aspiring disciple, yes, Krishna, I want to surrender to you. I want to serve you. I want to learn to control my mind and senses. I want to give up my pride and false ego so my real self can come out. I want to do that with you. But all of your servants and assistants, I'm going to treat them horribly. What do they say? Love me, love my dog? We get road tested. Krishna does not like to be disturbed, Prabhupada said. So Krishna has a filtering process. You don't just walk in on Bill Gates or I don't know who's big now, whatever. You don't just walk in. You got to have an appointment. You got to have a connection. You got to have a pass. You got to have all kinds of stuff. So we're just going to... So one of the testing, is this person ready to actually associate with me? So Krishna tests us, how do we deal with his devotees? So we have to be it is the first. Just like Krishna gives the process of knowledge, and the first is humility. Because if you're not humble, you're not going anywhere. So similarly, if we don't learn how to deal properly with the devotees, how in the world are we going to deal properly with Krishna? And if invariably we commit an offense to a devotee, what do? Offer him $1,000. Say, forget him, I'll just be nice to everybody else from now on. What do? Yeah, just like you just apologize sincerely. Please forgive me, and try to avoid it in the future. And devotees are naturally merciful. So there it is. So that's the first offense. Second offense? All right then. I happened to come prepared. I know them, but I'm thinking about a lot of things on my mind. So we'll do this. Second offense, I was planning on calling on my brain, Dravida. To consider the Lord and the demigods to be the same level, equal to or independent of the Supreme Lord. There's only one Supreme. That's Krishna. Everyone has somebody who's better than them, who's going to rush through these, who's better than them, stronger than them, richer than them. And you work your way up. I was driving to LA one time, and I was speeding. I apologize. But there it is. Honest. So this brand new Mercedes, zoom, shot past me. And I was looking at the Mercedes. They were thinking, gee, wish I had one of those. A little further up, we were all like a school of fish going up. Zing! Brand new Ferrari went past us. Red Ferrari. And the guy in the Mercedes, although previously he didn't look left, didn't look right, because he was too cool for everybody else, he took a quick glance at the red Ferrari that shot past him. We got a little further up. Shoo! I swear, what is a Maserati? Gopal Bhatta has one. Shoom! Shot past him. Didn't look left, didn't look right. It was too cool for them. And there being justice in the universe. We got up to about Orange County, and there was the brand new Maserati by the side of the road with the police with a ticket, Everything. But the point is that there's always somebody faster, better, this, that, And there's so many controllers. And people say, oh, I am praying, I'm going to the temple to pray to the gods, or, But the thing is that Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ultimately, there is a supreme controller. And even in physics or chemistry, well, this is dependent on this. This is dependent on this. Well, this was caused by this. Well, this was caused by this. I can take a molecule. I can break it an atom. I can break it down to molecules. I can make it newtons, protons, and I can get I don't know how much those things cost. Atom smashers. The first atom smasher they built in Europe it was something like $4 billion. I could not make this up if I wanted to. You can Google it. First one they turned on. But here's what it does is I'll finish the story first. So they turn the thing on and it spins. It's a super hadron collider, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's like taking two cars, racing them around a track as fast as possible, smashing them into each other, and then looking at the pieces and trying to figure out how to make a car. It smashes the atoms and they see what, for nanoseconds, you can't even measure, different things come out. And they find subatomic particles. But the point is they're looking for the cause of the cause of the cause of the cause of the cause. Everybody's doing it who's smart. But Krishna, the Supreme Lord, he's Adi Purusha. He's the original person. He's the Supreme Controller. He's the Sarvakarana Karanam. He's the cause of all causes. So all the other devas, and got such a sterile, pedestrian view of the world, We laugh at the Greeks and there's the wind god and the fire god. But Winston Churchill, before he died, who knows where he is now, but Winston Churchill said, when I die, I don't want to go to heaven. I want to go to, what was the name of it? Forgot the name of the hotel, famous hotel. Is it? Claridge's. When I die, I want to go to Claridge's. And Claridge's Hotel, it has something like 5 employees for every guest. The big fat cat with a cigar, and immediately there's somebody with an ashtray, And anyway, that's for a mundane hotel to run smoothly. And this world is a profound machine. We can't even imagine. A single cell is more complicated than New York City. And New York City's not in good shape. So that's a single cell. They don't even know. The more they study it, the more complex it is. So they have no idea what's going on. And the idea that it's not happening by design and force and intelligence, and it doesn't have devas or persons that are in charge of things. Even in the Bible, there's cherubs, seraphims, archangels. And there's a whole team up there. So it's just ludicrous but to forget that there's one cause of all causes who everyone is dependent on, and that is Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So that's the second offense, moving right along here. To neglect the orders of the spiritual master. It's not that the spiritual master has some ego trip and he's trying to, lord it over. You go to a doctor, gives you a prescription, says, call me in 10 days, call me in 2 weeks, come back in 2 weeks. Doc, it didn't work. Did you follow my direction? Nah, it's too tough. Take the medicine? Nah, it's too bitter. Well, what's the doctor supposed to do? What do you do? So you got to follow the directions. It's not complicated. So the spiritual master, he's satisfied in his own life. He's satisfying serving Krishna. I told Niranjana Swami, one of my heroes, I said to Niranjana Swami, we were talking about something. I said, I raised 2 kids. I'm done. Now I can take sannyas, And he looked at me wistfully and said, I said, I raised them, I trained them. What is it? Education, occupation, marriage. You're done. I'm done. I'm a free man. Free at last, free at last. So, and he looked at me wistfully and said, you've got disciples. He said, they're with you for life. And then Jayadvaita Maharaj was standing next to us and said, life after life. So, rub it in, So the spiritual master's not hungry for disciples or compliant, follow my order. That's not what's happening at all. But if that's the way out, if it's the doctor's instruction to cure the disease, then you got to follow it. It's as simple as that. It's not, why is he oppressive? Okay, so to minimize the authority of the scripture, same kind of thing. If you want to mail your letter, you want to go, suppose you have an important letter to make. You want to mail it. You're new in town. You ask me, what's a common sense thing? Ask me. Oh, no, you don't ask where's the post office. It's not the finding. It's the journey. I mean, we hear that kind of garbage all the time. I mean, it's romantic. You can put it on a Hallmark card. Sounds poetic. But if you're serious, if you want the person to get the letter, you just, where's the mail? Where's the post? Oh, left, right, there. Okay, great. And off you go. And you drop your letter and it all works. So the scriptures, the Shastra, are the roadmaps of how to succeed. And if we minimize it or change it or dismiss it, again, my son, who is a very intelligent, he put up with me all these years. So, he was going to make something. He was going to make a cake or something, and the thing completely blooped. Well, did you add baking soda? I couldn't find it, so I threw in some salt. Hey, white powder, what's it do, Did you add any butter? Well, no, but I couldn't find butter. I added extra water. Well, lo and behold, so that's the scripture. You got to follow it, and you got to follow the instructions, and you got to know what the goal is, the Supreme Lord. Okay, how are we doing now? We've got to give some mundane interpretation of the holy name of the Lord. I've had people tell me that, talk about having the cart before the horse or backwards. The chanting is very good because it helps you control the breath. And by controlling the breath, then the pranayama works and the chakras open. And, so that the holy name is just a medium for some other process. No. Of course, that happens ancillary. That happens, as an automatic byproduct. But, we don't give some interpretation. Krishna means, my favorite. Well, we'll have to say it. Well, we'll save it for another time. But there's so many ways of being wrong. Okay, just quickly. Krishna. The name Krishna, well, another name for Krishna is, and I swear to you, he's passed away and who knows where he is now. Big guru, had nice beard, saffron cloth, everything was coiffed nicely. So another name for Krishna is Hari, one who takes away. It means Krishna takes away all of our illusions, all of our anxiety. That's what Hari actually means. Well, Hari means one who takes away. Who takes away? Thieves. When are thieves active? Night. When it's night, it's dark. When it's dark, you can't see anything, isn't it? So surrender to Hari means to surrender to the unknown. I mean, here's the truth. Krishna says, Mom, surrender unto me. And this guy's gone, chick, 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 chick. The death of 1,000 cuts. Or on one of those color line, a shade line from black to white. You really can't see where it changes, but it's definitely white here and it's definitely black here. So to give some mundane interpretation on the name, what? Okay. It doesn't mean one can share one's realizations. The great acharyas share their but that's not a mundane interpretation. Okay, to commit sin on the strength of chanting. I had friends when I was growing. Well, I wouldn't say friends. I should say fellow deviants, or whatever you want to call them. Oh, jeez. They'd go to church on Friday. Why? What do you do if you're Catholic and you go on Friday? Confession. And why do you confess? Because, hey, clear slate for the weekend. So, what? If I'm trying to light a fire and I keep pouring water on it, What's going to happen? This doesn't work. You don't sin, think, oh my God, they're going Puritan on me and it's fear and guilt. I'm going to burn in hell. That's not what we're talking about. When we say that, it means chronic activities that are going to pollute our consciousness. Intoxication. If you take, I saw a t-shirt the other day, instant idiot, just add alcohol. So intoxication. Okay, intoxication means the act of becoming full of toxins. Toxic means poison. So, I mean, we can spend a lot of time on it, and I won't. But committing, sin, if you're trying to light a fire, if you're serious about your business, you do not pour water on the fire. So these are don't do that. Watch out. Don't go that way. I won't mention the devotee's name. I was teaching him how to drive. How many things are wrong in that picture? But that's another story. So I was teaching him how to drive, and he looked at first I gave him what do they call that? Driver's manual, whatever that thing is. They teach you how to drive. That little booklet you get. So I gave him that. Whatever it is. I gave him that little driver's booklet. And next day I saw him. He said, do we really have to follow all these signs? I almost said the person's name. I said, Prabhu, those signs are our friend. We like those signs. Like one way, do not enter. That's a pretty valuable sign. Train crossing. I like that one, I mean, there's some bridges out. I mean, I don't know what. No. Those stop. Those signs are our friends. We like those signs. So the directions and sinful activities, these are guideposts. They're not oppressive. Don't do it. It's not going to turn out well. Okay, so we're making good progress. To compare the chanting of the holy name to mundane piety. That, people do so many pious activities. I mean, if I do so many Hail Marys, and actually that, I'm going to take that out of the list, because if you're saying the name of the mother of Jesus, I'm sure there's some potency in that one. But, it doesn't mean, it says pious. We're not discounting the value of pious activities. Krishna says in the Gita, sacrifice, charity, and austerity should never be given up, Krishna says in the Gita. So we're all for, welfare, distributing food, ideally prasadam. We're not against pious motive goodness or pious deeds. We're not against act. But if we think that karma kanda, that's what I was looking for, that if I act properly, then somehow or other you can't take the kingdom of God by storm. Prabhupada liked that saying. And let me just, if I give in charity, or if I worship this deva or that deva, or if I fast on Fridays, or that by some mechanical system, I'm going to capture the kingdom of God. That's a whole other story. It's revelatory. It is not, you cannot ascend to the kingdom of God. It's actually Ravana's psychology. But the point I'm trying to make is that the chanting of the holy name is not a material thing. You can, the chanting of the holy name, it is completely transcendent. It actually clears the heart and allows the mercy of the Supreme Lord to flow in. It is a descending, revelatory process. It purifies the heart and allows that process to take place. And it doesn't matter whether one is old or young or has a high IQ or, it doesn't matter if you've got $1 million in the bank or if you just, broke out of jail. If one chants it doesn't matter what's in it, it doesn't matter. The chanting of the holy name following these guidelines is so powerful that it completely purifies the heart irrevocably. So it's not to compare that. It's like saying I'm going to go to the. I don't want to. Did they go to the moon? I'm trying to have a good example. It's saying I want to I'm going to cross the Atlantic Ocean and get to England by holding on to the tail of a dog paddling. What do you think? Is that going to work out for me? Thank you. You didn't hesitate on that one. So that's not happening, you know. So the idea that I'm going to obtain the supreme, all-powerful, supreme Lord, and that I'm going to get rid of lifetimes. The living end is called Nityabhata. Whoa. Nityabhata means we have been conditioned by so many lifetimes, it's practically eternal. You can't even pick, it's called anati. You can't actually put a date on it, how long we've been in this material world. And I'm going to compare the holy name that can completely eradicate all of that to some mundane activity that, you know, I fasted on Friday, or I put $10 in the church box, or I don't know what. I was a Boy Scout. Anyone in here? I don't want to embarrass anybody. I was a Boy Scout, but it wasn't cool. I quit after a while. You know, it's no fun. But they have good principles. What is it? Brave, loyal, trustworthy, clean. It's like the list of pious activities. It's not going to get you back to Godhead. They may support it. Okay, so there's to compare the holy name to that. It's actually offensive. To instruct the glories of the Lord's name, to instruct the glories of the Lord's name to the unfaithful, instruct the holy name to, because, you know, if you give pearls to a hog, it'll just throw it on the ground and look for stool. I mean, that's a graphic example, sorry, but, you know, whatever it may be, don't cast your pearls before swine. Hey, there it is, Jesus says it. So, the holy name is so pure and so powerful, and we want to help people. And if you say, just chant Hare Krishna, and they say, go jump off a bridge. You know, people say so many, not so much anymore, actually, they're pretty grateful nowadays. But it used to be, so you don't want to cause them to commit an offense. So you don't just go up to a drunkard and say, you know, sir, please give up your nonsense and surrender to Krishna. Just chant the holy name. Of course, I'm thinking of Lord Nityananda. So it's generally speaking, we're careful. Then again, Vaishnavas, devotees, are so kind that they actually, this is the one offense we'll let you off the hook on. That, you know, but we have to be careful and always value the holy name. Okay, so then the last one, I'm not doing too bad, is to be inattentive while chanting the holy name. Oh, another one is to be attached to material things in spite of chanting the holy name. Or they say to be attached to material things in spite of some instruction on the matter. And this is the same thing. You try to light a fire and you're pouring water on it. And you just, or if you think, okay, well, I'll chant and then I'll go do whatever I want. And I can always come back and chant and it'll clear it back up again. It's like you have faith in the power of the holy name to, well, I can go out and do something sinful and I'll chant and it'll you know, the scale will readjust, you know. After a while, that catches up with you. Krishna's no fool. I was in the room. Prabhupada said, anyway, it's a long story, but the short version. Prabhupada said, I'll forgive you once. I'll forgive you twice. The third time I take off my shoe. Prabhupada could be in that, you know, Lord Nrsimha mood sometimes, you know. It was good. It's proper. So to commit sinful activities by chanting the holy name and think that it'll square the balance, it doesn't work that way, and Krishna's no fool. First off, you're cheating. The only person you're cheating is yourself, because you're not getting the full benefit. And after some time, Krishna will snap you around. He'll forgive you once. He'll forgive you twice. And, you know, this is the last chance for you to get out of it first. This is serious business. And even if we forget Krishna, Krishna will not forget you. You're initiated now, buddy. And he's taking you back to the Godhead by the back of your neck, whether you like it or not. So there. So run for the door now. Sure. Okay. And then the others to be inattentive while chanting. If you're serious, you know, we got to focus. Okay. That's probably enough on that. What do we do now? We start the jug? Yeah. There we go. Just shut the lights off for a moment. Again, this is a Moggallila spiritual master who's based mostly in South India, but he travels all over the world. Take it away.
By the grace of Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Sri Radha Giridhari, Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev, and all the devotees of ISKCON in Pacific Beach, San Diego, today Amoga Das Brahmachari and others will be conferred the sacred thread and the mantras, certain Gayatri mantras will be conferred upon them. In accord with Srila Prabhupada's desire to create a new class of brahmanas to lead society. I especially mentioned the name Amoga Das Brahmachari as he is my disciple, and others who are taking this initiation today are disciples of other gurus within Srila Prabhupada's International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It's a very great responsibility. We shouldn't just think of it as a formality, that you get a thread and then you move up a notch in the status, in the pecking order. It's not like that. It's the responsibility to be an ideal devotee. Brahmanas are supposed to be ideal and set an example for others. Their life is meant to be absorbed in Brahma, in this spirituality. So they're expected to be very scholarly in the sense that, not that you have to become a bookworm type, but should have the habit of regularly studying Shastra, memorizing verses, living according to the Shastra, being very clean. There's so much Srila Prabhupada has written about this. Those who are Brahmanically initiated also have the opportunity and the privilege to serve the deities directly by offering aratis, performing the puja, dressing the deities, offering bhoga to the Lord, cooking offerings for the Lord. So it's a great opportunity. Especially brahmanas, they're supposed to know the Shastra and preach the Shastra. Others can also do that, but that is especially incumbent upon brahmanas. So please take this very seriously. Although many devotees are initiated as brahmanas, unfortunately, not all live as brahmanas in the sense of patan, yajan, dana, pratigraha. The activities which distinguish brahmanas from the other varnas. So please take this very seriously. Live your whole life as a brahmana in Srila Prabhupada's service. It's not that everyone has to be a brahmana in Srila Prabhupada's service. I'm talking about in terms of the varna activities. But those who do take this initiation, you please study Gita, see the qualities which are given there. Shamo damas tapah shochang shanti arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Live according to those qualities. Be an ideal devotee in the service of Srila Prabhupada and the whole Sankirtan movement. Hare Krishna. All glories to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the devotees there who are kindly bringing others in. Kindly means with their compassion. Bring them in, training them up, and bringing them up. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Bhakti Vikash Maharaj. So now, lights on. I just thought of one important thing. I have the Japa beads. Do we need to wear the bananas and wear the plates? Okay, now, I need someone to... No, but I just want to, so we can expedite the matter. All right. Okay, well then I got you on this one. Wear the Brahman threads. Oh, Dayanidhi to the rescue. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with first with the purification, and after they're going to go, whatever it takes first, they're going to take the bulbs, and they need to change your neck beads, the one they're going to now, is now. Or you can put it up.
But Giridhar, when you're done with that, you need to help these guys. And Dimitri, were you going to change your mind? What, just sit. Don't move.
We're going to start with the mantras first for purification. Repeat with me. Om, Apavitra, Pavitra Va, Sarvavastam, Katopivat, Jashmaret, Kundari Kaksham, Shah, Pahavehanta,
Giridhar.
Suchihi, Sri
Help
Vishnu,
the- help them.
Sri Vishnu,
Next beat's off.
Sri Vishnu. Now everybody have a Achaman cup. With the left hand, they grab one spoonful of water and they put in your hand, and you say Om Keshavaya Namaha, and you sip the water, and you do like this. Purify your hand after the sip. Now put again water in your hand and say Om Narayana Namaha and sip the water. And now one more, purify your hand, and one more time put water, Om Madhavaya Namaha, and sip. Okay, they're ready. They changed the next bit, yeah.
So what do I do now, Diane?
Yeah, they're ready for the boats, for the name, everything.
Oh, I give them their name now?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Got to put your neck beads on.
You go, you pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, and come back, pay obeisances to Maharaj.
Now, but what I don't understand is we got them neck beads.
Oh, you have, okay, this is
yeah,
from
give
here for
those
him.
to
Okay.
Dr. Scott.
I don't know, this is working. Hello, hello. How do you work?
These guys' neck beads on? Let's go alphabetically. So this is Bhakti Jeff, who I've known for a number of years.
Just go, pay obeisances to Prabhupada.
You offer obeisance to Prabhupada
and
first.
come back.
This is the fruit of many years. It's not a cheap thing. Okay, now feet this way. Offer your businesses. What's that? Oh, very good. He's got a microphone. And it's reciprocal. So I'm promising to do my best I can to connect you to Prabhupada's lotus feet so you can go back to Godhead. But it's not a one-way street. What are you promising?
Promise no intoxication, no meat, fish, or eggs, no gambling, no sex, and chant a minimum of 16 rounds every day.
And he said the magic word, minimum. We don't just 16, check the box, now I can do any damn thing I want. No. Okay, so your name is Jamuna Jivana Prabhu.
Haribo!
Now, you're supposed to use, it's not obligatory, but generally speaking, it's called the bija mantra of the take the syllable of name they have now. So his name is Jeff. So Jamuna Jivana. And Jamuna Jivana is Krishna, who's dancing, playing. He's the life of the river Jamuna. And what I'm talking about is that God is not old or mean or throwing thunderbolts or vindictive. It's none of that. And Krishna, he's not. Prabhupada saw a picture of Atlas holding up the earth. You know, Prabhupada said, we're not interested in that kind of God. Krishna doesn't have to lift weights. Krishna doesn't become God. But Krishna is simply enjoying. He's all attractive, and he's simply playing and enjoying with his boyfriends and gopis on the banks of the Jamuna. So spiritual life is happy. If you're not happy, you're doing something wrong. Okay. Jamuna Jivana Prabhu. And now we have Bhakti Scott. And it has also been a long, so you offer obeisance to Prabhupada. It has been a long journey for Bhakti Scott. And he's been ably assisted along the way with his partner, Janava Jivana. Janava Jivana is his wife's name, and she is that means very dear to Lord Nityananda. Janavi is Lord Nityananda's wife, so Janavi Priya is named for Lord Nityananda. And there's a reason I'm telling you that. You'll see. So, Bhakti Scott, here we are at the precipice. What are you promising?
I promise no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat, eggs, or fish eating. I also promise to chant my minimum of 16 rounds a day.
There we go. Because that will take care of everything else. All right. Your name is Sachi Priya.
Haribo!
And we'll explain. Of course, it was a little bit of literary fun. You've got Janavi Priya, now you've got Sachi Priya. You've got Lord Nityananda, you've got Lord Chaitanya. So it was a little fun there anyway, you know. But the other thing is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful. Even his mother, you know, he was the exemplar of sannyas. But he was obliged to his mother. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extreme. He's obliged to his devotees. And he's very, very merciful. So I want you to always remember that you're under the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And whatever happens, whatever you do, whatever goes wrong, that you have to pray to Lord Chaitanya, that he's and don't become discouraged and don't become frustrated. Don't think, oh, geez, it's never going to work out. Because do you think that you are more powerful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Never. So do you think you can be more of a fool, that you can run faster and escape Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? No. So you just pray to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to please give me your mercy and stay under his lotus feet. So that's why I picked that name. Okay, Hare Krishna. Sachi Priya Das. Okay, what happens now?
Do you want to put the thread now, or you want to wait?
I want to put the thread on after. What we can do is have someone untangle them.
Later on? Now? Okay.
No, you don't do it. You can start. We'll figure out what to do here.
Okay.
Just give it to us. Whoa, that's what I didn't want to happen.
No.
Just give him to Govardhan. Govardhan, give him to me.
There you go.
All righty. Very good. Don't do anything else but get up and hand him to me. Because he's getting tangled. Don't do anything else. Because he'll get entangled. Thank you, Govardhan.
He's going to...
Zip. No, we're starting this.
Okay, we'll start this.
Sorry.
Okay. We're going to start with the Sankalpa invocation. Om Tat Sat Sri Govinda 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 Ashau Shubhaditau Shri Bhagavad Agnaya Bhagavat Kankaryam Rupam Bhavavartamanasya Adi Brahmano Dvitya Pararde Shri Shweta Baraha Kalpe Vaishosheta Bandantare अष्टाविंशति कलियुगे प्रथमानपदे शबन्द्वीपे भारतवर्षे अमेरिकाखण्डे मेरुपश्चिमे पार्श्वे कैलिफोर्निया क्षेत्रे सान्दिगोपुरे राधाकृष्णसन्निधौ अस्मिन् वर्तमानकाले विष्णुमासा व्यागतपक्षा तृतीया तिथौ शुभयोगा शुभकारणम् एवगुण विशेषण विशिष्टायाम् अच्युतगोत्रस्य श्रीमङ्गोवर्णन अमोघलीला मणिबन्धने चमुनश्रीमनान् श्रीसाक्षी देहस्य कुटुम्बस्य कशमस्तर्या विजय आरोह्यम् अब्रिवीत् यथाम् अदु श्री श्री राधागिरिधरिकरिषेम् शनत कुमार उवतु कमदेवाब दर्शिशामत पति देवा हेलानत देवर्षि वर्या पुरुषार्चनंतरम कुर्मो हरिर्मम निरयत आशेषाम ओम प्रशुपति विष्णु ऋषि बृहत छंद श्री विष्णु देवती अग्निष्ठापने विनियोगा ओम बुर्वा स्वा स्वाहा ओम ओम श्रेयपत Repashirhi Jashantarana Bupeti Adipayate Brivitu Hetu Shamantam Dharma Chak Tragrevahi Chash Vishnutaya Bhavati Govinda de Purusham Tamaham Bachami Shadupa Shadipa Ishaganda Idam Pushpam Idam Naividyam Om tam Vishnu paramam pada sada pasyanti surayo divivya shakshuratatam tadvipanjabo chagrivam shakha shamindate Vishnu yat paramam padam Om Krishna by Sachidanda Gana Krishna di Purusha Krishna Purushotama Krishna Ahau Karmadi Mulam Krishna Shahar Sharbai Karyam Krishna Kashankri Dasho Mukhya Prabhupuhyam Krishna Nadis Tashmin Ajadam Tarbahe Jamangalam Tablavate Lavate Kritem Om tam Vishnu paramam pada sada pashanti shurayo divyak shakshur atatam tadvi prasho vipanjavo jagrivam shakha sambindate Vishnu yat paramam padam aham kratum aham jagya shwadatam aham ashushadam mantroham ebahyam aham agnir aham hutam Om Pravaniruda Prabhusha Jagnam Prabhusha Jagna Patim Bhagava Pacha Sarva Bhuta Stata Ketapu Kentamna Punantu Bahisha Bacham Shashudatu Om va swaha idam Vishnave idam namama. Om bhuva swaha idam achuta idam namama. Om swaha idam naraya idam namama. Om bhuva swaha idam anantaya idam namama. Okay, now we're going to chant the Mangala Charana. And at the end, I'm going to swaha, and you have the grains, and you throw grains on the fire, okay?
This grains into the fire, one of the things is it symbolizes all of the material desires, lust, greed, anger, envy, all of that being thrown into the fire. It also, and burned up. It also symbolizes that all one's previous sinful activities, all of that is finished. Assuming you don't do it again.
Okay, we're going to start. If you know the mantras, you can chant all together. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jananjala Shalakaya Chakshirum Militai Jena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha Sri Chaitanya Vanovishtam Shtapitan Jena Bhutale Shwayan Rupa Kadamahyam Dadante Shwam Padantik Swaha Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Shutapalakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Shagrahatam Shahagana Raguntam Vitam Taptap Shivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parishan Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padasaha Gana Lalita Vishikatam Vichanscha Swaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Badrinarayan Swami Tinamine Swaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Hanumat Prashak Swami Tinamine Swaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasha Swami Iti Namine Swaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Swaha Namaste Sarasvate Deve Ngauravani Pracharine Nidvishesha Shundyabadi Paskatya Deshatarine Swaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Tinamine Shivarshavana Devi Daita Kripdayem Krishna Sambandha Biyana Daine Pravade Namaha Madhuro Jwala Premadya Shirupanuga Bhaktidam Shri Gaura Karuna Shakri Vigraho Namastite Namaste Gauramani Shri Murtani Tarine Rupanuga Bridva Pasudanta Duante Harine Swaha Namo Gaura Kishoraya Shakshai Baraya Murtaye Vipralambar Shambode Padambujaya Te Namaha Swaha. I got lost. We got in Bhaktivinoda. Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sachitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha Gaura Vibhava Bhumestwan Nistajaha Priyaha Vaishnava Sharvavama Shri Jagannatha Namaha Swaha Vanchakalpa Taruvyasha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Parvavevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Swaha Namo Mahabrandaya Krishna Prema Parayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuishe Namaha Swaha Panchata Totmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavatara Bhaktakyam Nanami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha Ei Krishna Karuna Sendo Dena Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namoshtute Swaha Jayatam Shurator Pangor Mamamanga Matergati Matsarvasa Padambojau Radha Mada Namohanau Swaha Divya Brindale Kalpadrumada Shrimat Narnagar Shigashtaum Shrimat Radha Shila Govinda Debau Preshtali Vishayamanam Eshmalaman Swaha Shriman Rasa Rasambi Banshi Batatatastitaha Karshavenu Sunoir Gopir Gopinata Shri Eshtunaha Swaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shutadevi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashari Gaura Bhaktarinda Swaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Swaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Swaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo, Hare Hare, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Okay, now we're going to do the Purna Huti, or the final offering. The devotees are going to offer the banana on the fire.
I should add, we're at the tail end here. There's 2 minutes. Then we have a quick kirtan. Go around the fire. Everybody goes around the fire 3 times. Faster to go, then the sooner we'll serve prasadam. So we'll just have a quick kirtan afterwards, just around. Everybody goes around. Everybody means everybody. And you're unwinding the knot of karma. So we'll all go around 3 times. And then the prasad is boxed up and ready to go. Fantastic. Hare Krishna. And please give these young devotees, young in spiritual life, bless them that they succeed. That Krishna protect them and they succeed. Because they're going to help you too. You'll find out. Hare Krishna.
You can stand up. That's, I want to be sure. It's going to be no fire. You have a banana there, Maharaj, if you want.
Oh, very good. You see my banana there, Govardhan? Oh, okay. Thanks.
When I'll let you know where you put the banana, okay? And try to put the banana on the fire, no just. No throw the banana, okay?
And low.
Yeah. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Chitaya Cha Chagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Chitaya Chagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Chagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Purna Mada Purna Nidam Purna Uduchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Krishna Purnameva Shishate Swaha Swaha Swaha. Don't throw the banana. There you go. My God. Okay. The banana means the devotees, they surrender to the spiritual master in mind, soul, and mind, word, and body. mind, body, and soul. They surrender to the spiritual master. That means don't eat the banana. If you want to eat these guys. Now you pay obeisances, and they go around the fire, and the devotees are going to go with the chadar. If you want to give some donation, they call dakshina. They're going to be asking for your mercy. They can give it to the dakshina, to the spiritual master, and to the priest. Don't forget. no, to the spirit, for the spiritual master, and you can give a donation. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.